Okay, this one's coming from Amelia. If we, as the artistic creator, are consciously creating the imagery, how can we ensure our image systems will be subconscious to the viewer?
You have to be subtle. You know, when you're writing, you've got a page in front of you, and let's say it takes you 10 minutes to write this page. Okay. What's the next thing you do? You read it. And while you're reading it, you're critiquing it. Is this the best way to say this? Would she, in fact, say this? Would he react that way? Is this the best location for this scene? Is this really clear? Is it expressive? How can I do it better? And so you critique and analyze constantly. And so you're always conscious of everything you're doing, and certainly conscious of the imagery in the scene. As you read that scene, it took you 10 minutes to write it. It could take you an hour or two to take notes and criticize it and think about it and reorder things and change and adjust and whatnot. And so you spend 10 times more time critiquing what you're doing than you do creating it, which is normal. And in that critique, of course, you're aware that I'm working this image into what she says, and I'm working this image system in not only what she says, but I'm going to add to it by what he's wearing or whatever it is. And so the artist is very aware. As what was it, Oscar Wilde or somebody said that a writer is somebody who spends the whole morning putting in a comma and the whole afternoon taking it out. And so, yes, we are acutely conscious of what we're doing, but we do it in such a way that when the reader or the audience experiences it, it just flows through their minds and imaginations and feelings as if it were real. So you are conscious of your image system. But now what you need to do as part of the critique of whatever you're writing, in order to make it as perfect as possible, you have to step back and look at what you've written from the point of view of the audience or the reader reading or experiencing your work. And would an audience experiencing this for the first time, of course, would that image become noticeable as symbolic? And if the answer is yes, I've done it in such a way that the symbolism of that object is going to be clear to anybody watching the scene, no matter how they're involved, then you have to find a way to bury it or not use it. And so you have to be subtle. It has to be a natural part of the physical world, the social world, the actions and dialogue of your characters, so that it seems that this is just flowing without stopping to alert anyone to itself. And the only way I know to embed an image system in order to enhance and yet keep an audience from thinking the thought, that's an image system, is that you have to take the audience's or the reader's point of view, read what you've written, imagine it on stage or imagine it on the screen, and try to anticipate, would that jump off the story and call attention to itself? And if so, how can I do it subliminally? So that's hard work. It's definitely hard work. Often, in fact, what unfortunately some writers do is they're so proud of their symbol. They're so proud of their image system. They want people to notice it. And in fact, especially, they want reviewers and critics to notice it, to try to guide the review by appealing to the reviewer to notice this image system and write about it, how wonderful it is. And so some bad writers, in my judgment, deliberately call attention to the image system in order to try to influence the audience, and especially reviewers and critics. And that, as I said, is a mistake. It destroys the very effect you're trying to create. So you're going to be aware of it, but you're going to have to be able to take the audience's point of view and see it the way they would see it as the story flows in front of them, and make certain it doesn't jump off the story and shout, "Oh, what a clever piece of image making am I?"